Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of Writers in Motion, presented to you by the Migrant Writers of Hong Kong. And I am your host for today, Maria Nemilu Rocio, and welcome to another inspiring and motivational uh, episode of Writers in Motion. And today is very special because I have with me a very special guest, and that together let's celebrate the International Women's Day. Let us all raise the flags of the women who have a valuable uh, mission and works in our community. So join me for an hour or more than an hour of a wonderful poetry and inspiring messages from our lovely guest today. So, before we start our show, let me tell you a little bit more about the Migrant Writers of Hong Kong. The Migrant Writers of Hong Kong is a social media platform wherein members can freely share their written poems. It is also a community of migrants in Hong Kong that aims to provide learning tools for aspiring writers through workshops. We believe that writing is an outlet of our emotions and it contributes much to our health in many ways. It was organized in March 30, 2021, hoping to unite every migrant writers under one shelter and sharing the same passion. On our Facebook page, we have segments and challenges and committed to develop writers. And because we believe that practice makes perfect, so we will be committed on this mission. We have our segments, weekly segments, and for Monday we have the On Spotlight. This features writers and poets and their written works and their journey in writing. We also have the Tuesday Creative Arts Challenge. And as of the moment, we're still collaborating with the Guhit Kulay. Thank you, Guhit Kulay, for for the Guhit Kulay artists for generously sharing your artworks with the migrant writers. And of course, we have the Thursday photo challenge and the photo challenge with a twist. And thank you for all the contributors, for all the participants who have contributed their poems. And thank you. We have the photographer of the month, John Estrera. Thank you for sharing your wonderful photos. And we have the Friday, the Poetry Device Challenge, which is, of course, learning poetry devices that could somehow improve or develop your writing skills. And yes, before I put on our guest today on our screen, let me read first her bio. And this wonderful guest, this woman is very um, is really special to me, and she's none other than Jane Lynn Dupingay. Jane Lynn Dupingay is from Diadi, Nueva Vizcaya, Philippines. She has been in Singapore since 2015, working as a domestic helper. She has a great interest on self-development and psychological enrichment as a strong foundation for her to fulfill her mission of being a voice of empowerment, especially among women. She is one of the core team members of the Migrant Writers of Singapore, a community promoting literature and arts, and as a medium of expression and bonding. Jane is also one of the core team members at Uplifters, a nonprofit organization providing online education on money management and personal growth. She initiated Paint a Smile project with a vision to spread the importance of reading, especially among youth, and distribute items such as clothes, art materials, and toys to young children with the help of generous donors. She likes to write poems, essays, and motivational messages. She contributed in different anthology books and performed in various online and in-person events. So let us all welcome our guest today. Yes, there she is. Hello. You're muted.
Good afternoon,
Hello.
everyone.
Yes, good afternoon. It's so nice to be here with you. So ganito pala yung feeling. So this is how it feels being with you on screen, one-on-one with you. So how are you, sis? How are
Yeah,
you doing today?
it's good. We are here at the park today. That's why it's a little bit disturbing the noises, but I hope you will be able to hear me properly. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a happy Sunday. Happy Sunday, everyone. Happy
Yes,
Sunday,
it's a
Migrant
happy
Writers of Hong
Sunday.
Kong.
And thank you so much for accepting our invitation. Happy Sunday to you as well, also, and
It's
for
a
all of the,
pleasure.
yes, migrant writers of Singapore as well. So, as so
Kaya
we
mo
should
yan.
take a so we should take a warm up questions, warm up exercise.
Agad-agad.
Okay, so I'm just curious. I would like to ask you this question. And I've been wanting to ask you this for I think I shared this question in my profile and you did not answer to that thread before, but I want to ask you now. So I would just like to ask this before we start, I would like to ask if you were somewhere in another place right now and be with someone, who would that be and where would that be? Except home, because it's typical that nowadays we are really, we are really missing home and we are really, looking forward to be at home. But aside from home that you wanted to be right now, I know which place and who would who would be the person that you wanted to be with you right now?
Mm, it's a very easy question for me. Yeah, because I've been wanting to spend time with my sister in Canada. So it's something like I really wanted to be there, especially that I have planned before there was no COVID yet, and I was thinking to visit her in Canada because she's residing there together with her family, and I was thinking that I want to go there when there's a snow during the snowfall, so I will be able to enjoy and see how the snow feels. But unfortunately, this COVID really stops a lot of plans. But it's still in my mind, still in my mind, and I really wanted to spend like a private time with my sister because I grew up without her at my side. So I wanted to at least have a time with them, have a time with her family. Sorry for all those backgrounds. They are
Yeah.
curious of what I'm doing here. So, yeah, that's I think that's my dream, one of my dreams. And of course, I wanted to bring my daughter there also because she also wants to see how does Canada looks. Of course,
Yes.
it needs a lot of money, but I think it will not be difficult because I have a sister there. I have my sister there that who can help me. So yeah,
Yeah, and knowing you, I think there is nothing impossible to that. I think you can make
yeah.
anything possible. Okay.
I'm sorry that you cannot hear what you are expecting to hear.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, so that is one question. And one more question before I let you read your first poem or
Okay.
before we go to I also wanted to ask um because this question is very significant for me. Um if you have, a superpower right now, what would that be and why?
Hmm. This is a very difficult question. I think a a superpower to heal. Yeah, because
Heal what?
s- heal, not
Heal.
physically, but something like the inner part of being a human. Yeah, because you are asking me of a superpower, and it's not
Yeah.
impossible. If you have superpower, you can do it. Like I just wanted to have this for, because most of the things that really creates a huge gap in between persons is like there are some unhealed emotions, or there is an issue that is happening within them. So it's like when you have a superpower that is bling bling bling, and then it all disappears. But it's not easy. It's
Yeah.
impossible. But how I wish that we could have I mean, not only for me but for everyone, if we could only have that superpower to easily manage our feelings, then the world could be a better place to live.
Exactly. I believe that. And you in your bio you put um you know I'm looking more into your bio, and it's so natipid yata yung bio mo. I was looking for more and wanted to dig in more, and I was can you tell us more a little bit more about yourself, like how were you inspired, or how did you what made you choose to work in Singapore, and why Singapore? It could be some other place, but why Singapore?
So actually, being here in Singapore right now is just for a very simple reason, which is that most of the big sisters from my village came from Singapore, and they were telling me that this is a nice place to work, and it's easier to come here. And it wasn't really a long a long process of make a decision making for me, because I just wanted to move out from that place, from my village, to be able to work for what is in my dreams, or to provide. I think this is a common reasons for us why we go overseas, to provide for our family, and for me as well is some kind of escape of a certain situation in my life. And I just wanted to I just wanted to move out from that kind of situation. So I decided to apply here in Singapore. So yeah, that's the story about it. And I think the most significant part of it is that I really didn't. I think it's destined for me to be here, because I found a life here. I found something. I think I grew up in Singapore. I grew up internally, not really like. Yeah, I grew up internally. That I learned a lot of things with the people that I got to interact with here in Singapore, especially with my employer, with my friends, and I was. I don't know what will my life be if I am in, because I also was thinking to apply in Hong Kong, because they say it's the pay there is higher. So, um, because the person whom I asked for help really wanted me to apply here in Singapore. Then I say okay, then let's just see after a few years if I really wanted to go to other country, then I will decide. For the meantime, I just stayed in Singapore first. So after that, after a few years, I still wanted to stay here. So here I am, still in Singapore, enjoying this country.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And what could have been were your expectations when you first arrived in Singapore? Was your expectations just as it is, or did you had any what were the first impact, or what were the first um you know feeling when you arrived in Singapore? What was the impact, or um we all experience some cultural shocks and like that when we first arrive in an strange place. And what were those um first feelings when you arrived in Singapore? What were those experiences?
Um, I think I was given the hardest experience when I was in my agency. So it was really like I felt that time, if this is gonna be my situation, if I go to my employer's house and this will be the situation, I will not hesitate to back out, because during that time when I was still in my agency, we were asked to work. Yeah, I understand work. We need to be trained, but some I found it unreasonable because you keep on repeating things that are already clean, and I was expecting that they are going to teach us some more additional knowledge, and not to us on keep on scrubbing the floor from morning until midnight. And I feel like we are just wasting time. We were just wasting time. And the how I wish that those times were spent to to teach us, or to share with us some more tips on how to cope up with with the kind of life in Singapore. I just wish, I just hope on that time. But this is what I experienced, and I didn't keep any hard feelings towards them, because I rationally I thought that this is their way to show us the the hardest part of coming
So,
and working into another country. Is like they are preparing you mentally, emotionally, but then I found it too much. So
yes.
I only had this kind of rationalizing when after a few years, because I kept on asking myself, why is the treatment like that? It's like we are getting scolded, we are getting although I stayed there for only 3 days, but I think the experience was really a very tough one. And my expectation was like it will not be a smooth journey with my employment. But fortunately I was brought to a home that is um, that the persons there are good hearted. Yeah,
And
this
it
is the
did.
luck. I don't know, I called it luck. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll start reading some little comments here, a few comments here. So we have Foodie Hikers. Hi, hi, Ate Nani, waiting idol. Thank you for your support. And then we have Siteng. Good afternoon, amazing ladies, Miss Press and Mareng Jane. Okay,
Hello.
Bernadette
Sidak
de la
siguro
Cruz, good
yun.
afternoon to both of you. Good afternoon. And from Migrant Writers of Hong Kong, good afternoon, beautiful women. You know exactly who this is with the green hearts. Okay, so maybe we can hear your first poem at this moment. I'll, I'll give you the
Okay.
floor.
I want to dedicate this poem to the host itself. Yeah, I do adore this woman because of her strength, her patience, and the way she handles things. So this is for you, Maria. I'm specially dedicating this day. Diamond, a heart that glitters with its purity, thoughts that overflow with kindness, and words that calm the rebellious. Gentle as the wind that blows, bringing the serenity sent by the goddesses. She is the light that shines brighter than your worries and illuminate into the darkness. A strong magnetic force pulling you out from the grime you believe to be your place. She outshines the proud beams on a broad daylight that steals the rising poise from the shy being. The firm hand that she holds to the losing grip of the hopeless, wounded, yet she never released. She displays irresistible wonder, a gem concealed in a mortal, priceless, and rare. Yes, that's my first poem.
Thank you so much. Wow. I'm so touched. Thank you so much. That is I like it when you said she outshines the proud beams. Thank you so much. I am very, very honored to have that to hear that poem. And I was not expecting that. I was expecting another poem really. But thank you
No,
so
that's it.
much. And you know how I adore you also and how I really look up to you um since we really get to know each other. And yes, you are the core part of me, and it it could have been, I can say that it was all your doing that I am here right now. If not for all your encouragement and everything, and words of wisdom, of course. You know how I always come to you also when I needed some advice and I needed some, you know, and I'm very grateful to have you
Oh, mag-iiyakan tayo?
as my
Ganon?
friend and mentor as always. And yun. So I feel so I'm so so blessed, and I really feel grateful that I met you. Thank you so much
Same
for
here.
that very
Same
beautiful
here.
poem. Okay, so let's talk about your journey in Uplifters. So you are very we all know, most of us know that you are from the team leader to diamond team leader, and now you are a mentor, and you are still inspiring students, and still supporting a lot of women in their online courses with Uplifters. And with those, and you also have your um, contribution with the Migrant Writers of Singapore. And I know you have a lot of ideas for both communities, and you're always sharing and expressing your ideas for both. How can you manage all the workload and, you know, manage your time when it comes to those commitments?
Okay, so let's start with Uplifters. I think
Yeah.
Uplifters is the main foundation of who I am today, and I will never forget that because the time when I was really into a very difficult situation, and I think it's more on uh, it's best to describe as rebellious stage of my life. It's like I found this home, I found Uplifters through a friend, and yeah, that was really the start of it. And I don't know, but it's just a sudden feeling when you finish the course, and I was invited to, because I was really very active by that time, and on that class chat I was the only student that was very active, and Helene invited me to enroll in become a leader course, and I said let's try it. Why not? Why not? Because after the Dare to Dream, I was able to establish something about myself. It's like I need to do this. I need to be like this when it comes to finances because my hands are always open. You know, you know. And I think it's not a new story for some of the migrant domestic workers here abroad that they have lack of information or knowledge about financial management. So after that, although it's just an online thing, but when you take it seriously, yeah, when you really take it seriously, I really whenever I finish my work and I look at the lessons, I really have a small notebook that I took down notes. All I was very masipag that time, and I took down notes all the lessons because I was afraid that after the lesson I cannot access the classroom anymore. So I do not know how to screenshot yet before, you know. If maybe if I know how to screenshot before, then I could have just screenshot it and kept it on my gallery. But I really do not know yet that time, so I just wrote it in a notebook. But I'm also thankful that I did that, because whenever I see it, it always brings me back to how I started. This was the really very beginning of my journey with Uplifters, and then after that, I really, I don't know, but ideas really just pop up my mind, and I cannot just settle down in a place if there are some things running on my mind. I need to share it. So even though I wasn't a social media correspondent at Uplifters before, I made my I pulled up my confidence and asked Marie, suggested some things, because when she came here in Singapore during our gathering meet and greet last 2019, and she said that whenever you have idea that you can share with Uplifters, and yeah, you can just message me. So I hold on to that words of Marie, and yeah, I I messaged her and suggested her some of the things, and yeah, I think yeah, that was the step by step, and then after that, what I like most about Uplifters is they keep on they are into not only letting the community grow, but they are also keen into making the they are also keen into letting their team leader grow by supporting them through uh, trainings, online trainings, because this made it easier. This made our life easier about online, because we can just do some trainings through online. So yeah, and after that, I think it's a step by step journey. I didn't go into being a mentor so easy, because I had to went through some of these things like support, because we have the pyramid, right, on Uplifters.
Yes.
For now, you know, at this time at Uplifters, I think it's more easy for you to be on the mentorship program. Imagine that I became a team leader in 2019, and I only became mentor in the year
Okay.
2021. So for the other for the other for the other team
Team
leaders who are
leaders
mentor
right
right
now.
now, I think the journey for them is shorter than us. So yeah.
Yes, so that was a wonderful journey. And you've always been sharing your journey with Uplifters to everybody. And it inspires more uh, our fellow domestic workers, to be the better versions of themselves. And I'm one of them. I'm one of those people women that you inspired to do something, to give back to the community, to pay it forward, like what TL Lisa Tividad said, pay it forward.
Yes.
And as I've said, I wouldn't be here if not all, of course, of the people also that I met in the community who is always, yeah, you're correct, and I can relate to that. They're always pushing you to be, grow, develop, discover yourself. You can do something more. They're always like this, believing in you, and um, they believe in your skills, your capabilities, and encouraging you to go further. And that is what I love with Uplifters, and that is why also I'm also very proud of being a part of this wonderful community. And
Yeah,
how
and
about?
sorry.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, because sometimes I always I always remind or share to my friends that um, sharing your story or sharing your journey, sharing what you have, is not that kind of flaunting.
Yes.
It is about your intention of why are you doing it. Just like me, I choose to be on the I choose to share. I choose to share what I have. I choose to share what I did. It's not because I wanted myself to be on the spotlight. It's not that way. I always wanted to break this kind of thought, this kind of thinking when I hear that, oh, I don't want to share because I don't want people to think that I am being so boastful, I am being so proud of what I have, I am flaunting what I have. It's not. It depends upon what is your intention of sharing. If you think that, oh
Exactly.
yeah, I need to show this, I need to show that, to show to people, no, then the problem is within yourself. But if you are showing that, if you are stepping up to speak up, to share about good things, about positivities, about what you are learning, then it's of it's of course a good purpose, because you cannot please everybody. But if your
Yeah.
intention is clean, that you are doing it because your intention is clean, then you don't have to worry about other people think. You just need to you just need to think about how you can make a progress about yourself so that you can have more things to share, because this is what the world needs. It's not
Yes.
about boasting. It's not about boasting. It's about posting, posting and
Yes.
sharing what is what you think can be inspirational for other people. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. I agree to that. And as I said, stories are, you know, stories, beautiful stories, inspiring stories creates impact on people. And,
Yeah.
you don't know if you share your story, you don't know who could be that someone that you're inspiring also to do something good today. And I believe
Exactly.
exactly I can relate to that. And so thank you for sharing. And what about um how did your journey in the Migrant Writers of Singapore started? When did you started writing poems and everything? And how did it
Oh.
become that yes, can you share us with that beautiful journey as well? So yeah.
Okay. So because before pandemic, I wasn't really that involved in Migrant Writers of Singapore yet, because of we have also other group here in Singapore. I was we were doing a group learning with some of the Indonesian friends in the through the SG Helper community corner, and we were doing learning some skills. Someone was really very generous to share her knowledges about fruit carving, jelly making, all these things. Just an example. But then I saw on their Facebook post that they are inviting for a workshop. So, oh, I think before I joined their workshop, I joined their first ever photography and poetry walk in the year 2019. That was October. And like, I found, I had something, I felt something that I wanted to bring out something within me. And do you know that after the walk, during the night, I was able to write a very beautiful love poem. So, you do know, as in, I do not have any knowledge about poetry at that time, but then after hearing about those words, about those shared poems during the walk, and I came back home and I say, why not I try also to write one? And I wrote a very four stanza poem. It's about love. And there are so many metaphors in there that I do not know they are called metaphors, you know. Only when I only when I went to attend their workshops. So, to cut the story short, during the I started attending their festivals, but I didn't perform yet because I was still shy. I was just there to show support. But then came 2020 and it was pandemic time, and then I don't know, maybe Brother Zakir saw something in me, or she saw he saw an interest about me do, because I was active at the Uplifters already at that time. So he messaged me to why not join, or why not create a group for brothers and sisters to have a sharing group, so that um, the impact of the pandemic or the COVID-19, because by that time, around April, they imposed the circuit breaker already here in Singapore, which is nobody can go outside, and we were asked to stay at home. So it was a very difficult feeling, difficult kind of adjustment for everyone, not only me, but for everyone, because you are like a free bird, and then suddenly your wings were being cut off, and then what should you do? So there are lots of stories of being frustrated, depressed, and some also were doing some not good things, like taking their own life, and it's really something that we had to address, or the society has to address at that time. So we started to create this daily life in COVID-19 Facebook group, and that time was really a great start, because it became a platform where everyone can share their stories, poems, and everything, any talent that they have. So moving forward, we were able to establish a kind of bond to the migrant community. And after that, I've been very active and very involved into all the activities of the Migrant Writers of Singapore, because I found it interesting, and it's on my interest as well. It is what I want. It is what I am, because it's very difficult for you to do the things that you are not interested in. So I think that's the additional point there, that I am interested into literature. I'm interested
Yeah.
into volunteering. So that
Yes.
made it easy for me to be involved and to
Something
spend.
that you are really something that you're really passionate about.
Yes,
And yes, there's a certain feeling of happiness and fulfillment whenever you do something that concerns about your happiness as well. So
yes,
I can honestly say that I have the same feeling too. So and I'm happy that I also became part of the daily life in COVID-19.
yes,
And when I started sharing my poems there, because I can see in your post sometimes that you are posting in daily life in COVID-19. So I got curious, what is this? And then when I explored the group, and oh, this is poetry, and it's something also I really loved, because I also love poems. I also love writing poems. So, and by the time also I was feeling a little bit down also, because because pandemic started, and you don't have the chance to get out and enjoy your holidays, and you have a lot of feelings inside you, the expressions of emotions that you wanted to write. And I'm very happy that I was part of the COVID-19 and became part of the workshops that you introduced to
yes,
me. Thank you for the invitation, for the first invitation that I joined the workshop with the Migrant Writers of Singapore, and my journey with you started there. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And yes, we can please read your second poem. We read some comments first. So Lizelle Marcos, good afternoon, beautiful host and guest. Good afternoon, Lizelle. And Lizelle Marcos said, emotional ang host. Of course. Naging emotional si Maria. And then the Migrant Writers of Hong Kong. I keep on looking on the beautiful guest shirt and feel emotional here. Yes, Cinderella's Angels.
yeah,
Shout out to all our Cinderella's Angels. We miss you guys. And of course, Migrant Writers of Hong Kong, missing you all, Cinderella's Angels. Thank you. Okay, we can I think we should hear your second poem at this moment and give you the solo.
all right. So this poem is, I think, related to the theme of this month's celebration of Women's Month about being about the bias. So this is the poem Unseen Liberty. Out of the window I stretch my hands, gripping the barrier, weeping in vain, hoping to see what lies beyond a circle earth or unending line. Sanity and femininity placed in isolation, taunted and haunted, biasly judged, grieving and wondering what had been done. Look through the eyes, a lifeless reflection. Tempted and flaunted with scenery untouched, existing bigotry kills the liberty. Okay, that's all.
Powerful. Yeah, powerful. So I finally I read that before, and hearing you say it or hearing you reciting it is a different one, especially with those with your powerful delivery. And yes, a very powerful message to all the women out there, to us women, and we are really exceptional in so many different ways. We play different roles in our society, and sometimes women are really um, they think us as sometimes they think us as the underdog, but it's not actually. We should always stand up for who we are. Thank you for that powerful poem. And yes, let's talk about your advocacy. Let's talk
Akala ko
about the
love life.
project. You want to talk later.
I'm gonna shut my
Okay, so
camera.
let's talk about your advocacy. So, what is the what is you mentioned about the project, paint a smile project. So, can you please talk about this a little bit more so that we have viewers here and they can learn more about your project and what is this all about?
It actually started about a dream, a very simple dream. Because before I came in Singapore, I used to volunteer as a daycare worker. So I was exposed to children, and yeah, I have a background in elementary education. And this desire from me that although I cannot teach, I wanted to have this kind of connection with the children when I go back home. And not only for the children at my place, but I want to spread this kind of because we are now in a modern in a modern era that sometimes even the 3 years old children have what is that phone, all these things. Although I'm not behind about thinking, but then I think some part of it is we are losing some of the uh, beautiful way of learning, just like reading. Some children will prefer on going to social media or doing some some things that are not really suitable for their age. So I thought this like I just wanted to I wanted to start something that I want to continue, although I didn't become a teacher, but I wanted to help in the most way I can. And that is to set up a small library, or a simple place wherein children could come and can interact with me, with other children during their spare time, because in the village it's like we only have a full day to study. But I don't know at this time that we are doing modular classes. So my thought here, why I created this, I started this, is that I want to provide books, secondhand books or new books, either um, for them to come and borrow and spend their time. But now that we do not have a physical library yet, we just put the books outside the balcony of the house, and then we are letting children to come at the house and borrow children. And because there are also some books that was given by my employer and other friends here in Singapore, those are psychology books, and I was encouraging the youths of my place to go and have a read of these books. They can bring it to their homes and read it, finish it. So uh, I think because this is one way for us to continuously feed ourselves with helpful informations, not only from internet, not only from our phone. So uh, and there's a beautiful scenario on my mind that I really wanted to achieve one day, and that is to sit down reading stories, surrounded by the children, and doing some charity works together with the youths. So this is my main focus here, and just grateful that when I shared this is really a very good news for me, that when I shared it to my employer, she started collecting books for me from her friends, and she even initiated that we are going to send books every 3 months, so there will be like a replenish to the there are so that it will be continuously running. So it won't just stop in one borrowing. People can come and take a look on the new books that we are going to send out. Then getting the support from my employer is really something that is very valuable for me, because she sees it too as a very noble act of doing good things for other people. And yeah, I think we are sending another box by the end of the month, and it will be funded by her. And yeah, she already started collecting from her friends some psychology books, children's book, and I cannot explain how happy I am to be supported by them and supported by my friends, especially here in Singapore. That whenever they always message me, when are you going to send? And these people, these friends of mine, these friends of ours, is like they are not rich, but they want to support, they want to share, and I'm just very blessed. I'm just very grateful for all the support about this project, and I hope to let it grow, especially when I return back home. And I'm just so happy and grateful for my daughter for supporting me with this, and she's very excited. She created the poster, the banner, and the name
Yeah.
itself came from her, but I just
Yes.
revised it. So yeah.
I'm very happy. Yes, it's like a mother and child advocacy, and I'm very happy for you that you have your daughter, and I think she's really, really, she's really also putting her heart into it. So every time you share some photos in our group chat, and I feel you are so blessed with your daughter, because she's also committed. Like, I can see her in you. I can see you in her. Yeah, the commitment is there, and I can see how I can see the at an early age also she's also exposed now to this generosity and everything, radical kindness, spreading radical kindness through her generosity. And your employer also has a good heart, who always supports you in everything. I think, from your talents to your the good things that you're doing in the community. She is very supportive, and you are such a lucky girl, such a lucky woman to have all this. And yes, I was looking for something. I am not able to look for it. I was looking for something who said that who tells something about reading and the importance of reading, and I wanted to share that, but I cannot look for it right now. So yes, I think we must break the habit of these kids nowadays, that they are really absorbed into social medias and games, virtual games. At least we could find something to divert their attention,
Yes,
and
exactly.
can learn more and develop. This social media and virtual games really have some um, impact on their development as children, especially because we cannot control what we can see in social media, and diverting their attention from this outside world would be really, really good to start with. And thank you. And we are wishing you good luck to your Paint a Smile
Thank
project.
you
I
so
hope
much.
it will grow more and your
Yes,
vision,
and for all
mission.
those who are listening right now, if
Yes,
you want to support me in this
if you
cause,
want to
I also
support.
created, yeah, I also created a Facebook page, and you can just reach out to me if you have some books that you are not, you do not wish to keep anymore. You can just message me,
Are
and then
there
take
some, have you already connected to some NGOs in the Philippines, or something like
Mm,
even the municipal,
not
um,
really yet.
not really yet, but
Mm,
I think when this grows, and then I think you can, ask for help for the
yeah.
sustainability of the project, because yes, although you have your a lot of supporters, and you have good friends also as well in Singapore, who are willing to donate the books, and donate or help you. um,
Mm-mm.
I think
One thing that
the
I
most.
really one thing that I really avoid on this part is that I don't want this thing to be associated with any political interest or anything. So
Okay.
this is what I am very careful because I just want to be honest. Some of the some people really were
Yes.
interested to um, to support this, but I don't find the interest or the advocacy that I am promoting, and I really dislike associating it with any political interest. So this is what I
Hmm.
am.
That's
This
I
is
can
what my
understand.
stand is.
Yeah, I understand, because it could be, some people may take advantage of the project. Yeah, I can really understand about that. So we have some comments here. Let's read some comments from our viewers. I am always from Eileen May Ramos. I'm always grateful of daily life in COVID-19, where we all started, and of course where Beyond the Sunset started. Yes. And Eileen May Ramos, Paint a Smile Advocacy. And then from her again, what a beautiful picture of your dreams, amazing Jane. And Eileen May Ramos, act of generosity. Yes. Eileen May Salvador, act of kindness. Bernadette de la Cruz, our guest, is having a golden heart, an inspiration. Yes, just
And
like
you
you,
are as
Bernie.
well. Yeah.
Yeah, she is as well. And Giselle Marcos, amazing project. Eileen May Ramos, a personal project and advocacy. I salute you for that. Amazing. So we're talking about here generosity. Generosity and radical kindness. For you, if I were to ask you, we all know that I wanted to know what for you, in your own words, what is the meaning of generosity for you?
I
Kasi,
think
oh, okay. Give me the space.
generosity is I think it's very difficult to define it. I think the best definition of it is how you are putting this one word into action. So generosity is something like it makes you as a human being. It it satisfies you as a human being, about being generous, or about just generosity is basing from the definition is like very giving, and you are openly openly sharing whatever you have. But I think the deeper sense of generosity is, it comes along with the satisfying thought of giving you an inner satisfaction. It's an inner satisfaction because people can give, but it's out of obligation. Sometimes it's just out of obligation. But when you give, you are generous enough to give. You are happy within yourself. You don't think about what you give as you lost it, but you give because it multiplies. You wanted to multiply what you have. So I think I cannot really define generosity in just a word, but it's in a deeper sense, in a deeper sense of being a human. It's something that when you know the meaning of it, you will never count what you release or what you give from your right hand, what you receive, all these areas. So yeah, I just wish that everyone could be as much as generous, not only on material things. We are not just talking about material things, but sharing yourself to a certain person, to a friend, your ears, your knowledge, your wisdom, whatever you acquire for yourself, not only for yourself, you stand not only for yourself, but because you know that there are some people around you that needed you as well. It is not about satisfying only your cravings as a human, but it's about what comes out from you. What could you give for other people, and to be satisfied by the thought of that you have helped people or you have given something out because of your good heart is the exact definition of being generous. It's not because you have given $1,000 or a lot of materials things to other people, but then you are thinking that, oh, I lost this thing, and then it's not about. It's not really that. It's not really the good definition of it. So for me, the generosity is what you give, what you happily give, and you gain satisfaction within yourself.
Yes, exactly. I certainly agree. So it's not just, sharing material things, but you can share whatever you have, yourself, your time, something like that. Yes. And we have some comments here from Siteng. Generosity, giving and helping without expecting something in return. Yes, that's true. Thank you, Siteng. Okay, and then what is I have another question for you. We don't
Sure.
have any follow question from our audience, from our viewers. You can For our viewers, you can type in your comments or your questions to our amazing guest here. Okay, so I have another question for you since we are talking about leaderships and everything here. What do you think is the core values that you have that really helps you as a leader or as a person to anyone? Because you always seem like, you know, you always seem to have this like you're always ready to give somebody your advices. You always have this different way of thinking. You're always supporting people with um you know how what do you think are your values that you're sharing with other people, and it makes you a better leader or a better friend or a better person?
I think what I know most about myself is this special ability to process things in a rational way, and it helps me a lot to not to jump into a sudden conclusion towards other person, because it's really not easy. It's really not easy to be in the front line, or to handle many things in my hand. And I think what helps me a lot to stay in my ground as a person and not to lose myself into all those judgments by other people is that I always remind myself that I should be more understanding. I should be more understanding towards other people, towards other people's behavior. And this is why am I interested so much in psychology, in psychology books. This is because I wanted to learn more about the behavior of human being. And sometimes when some people seek advice from me, it's like it's okay. Most of the time, that is the only way they can process things, and you are more understanding, or you can understand more better than them. So instead of getting into fight or getting into argument with them, you just need to calm yourself up. And because whatever you put into other people's mind, if that is the only limit that they can possess, you cannot do anything. Seriously, I've
Yeah.
been into many situations like that, and it's really very challenging for us. And for you not to get affected with it, it's just need to strengthen yourself as well, to just sometimes it's not ignoring, but letting it pass and handling it in a more calm way. Because do you think people will listen to you when you are angry? People will respect you when you go and shoot them with your words that yeah, heavy words. No, they won't see you as they will never respect you with that. And it's not about having a fist or a strong fist as a leader if you are calm, because calmness is power. I always tell it to other people, calmness is power. Because you have your own control about yourself. Once you lose yourself, you lose everything.
Yeah.
You will hurt people. You keep on getting hurt. You keep on hurting other people, and it is not good. Because sometimes it's too much. You feel like it's too much. And you can breathe. You can divert it into other ways. But being a leader, being the person they look up to, and then ras you act in a very, how do I say this, rascal, or you act in
Irrational.
a very in a
Irrational.
very agitated way. It's not good. So it's not about being fake, because sometimes I also hear this, oh, why not you just be true to yourself that you are. Yes, I am angry, but anger can be dealt with. Yeah, this is what some other people do not understand, because when you act aggressively at that moment of your anger, and you create something that is sometimes it's not patchable at all. So live what this is very gas now, or very common, live with what you preach. And yeah, I always try to, as much as possible, to live with integrity, with all honesty, that then when there are things that I really do dislike, I express myself in a nice way. Because good communication is the key there.
Yes.
So yeah, and when you say something and you don't do it yourself as a leader, it will backfire to you. People will not believe you, and if you do not respect other people, regardless of how they behave, I think we all deserve to be respected, regardless of how is our behavior. So yeah, sometimes we say that it's very difficult to respect those disrespectful, but respecting yourself, not to
Yeah,
disrespect them as well, is something, is the difference there. So not because they throw you a stone, you're going to throw a stone as well. I don't believe in this. You can
right.
always retaliate in a more in a more positive way, rather
Yeah,
than giving back the
what
same
is
the
given to you?
same. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that, and thank you for uh, saying that. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so we have more comments here from Eileen May. Absolutely, Rudeline. And Bernadette says, generosity is a calling, it is a choice, and it is mastered well-being. And from Lizelle, giving what you have that makes your heart happy and someone happy without expecting anything. And from Bernadette, a genuine and oh, Bernadette, Jane, you are a literal balancer. And another from Bernadette, a genuine and authentic weighing scale. Yes. And from Anne
Thank
Maureen,
you.
yes. If people acting the other way as you do to them, never jump on the same pit where they are. Yes, exactly. Thank you, Anne Maureen, for your comment. Yes. Okay, so I guess we have to hear your third poem at this
Okay.
moment. Okay.
Oh yeah. See, this is something related to what I've shared. So, untouchable sanity. The giggle of sheer delight, utterance of praise and thanks, feeling the serenity of bright colored morning. The defense made up by solid bricks, sealed with unbeatable aspirations, painted with brilliant visions. A durable structure built by time, standing amidst the weather changes, displaying the radiance earned fearlessly. If defeatism be entertained, life will lose its substance, colors will vanish as fast as it could be. Grasp firmly to the foundation, letting your force be known, generously sheltering the exhausted. Do not quiver with a loud rumbling, nor succumb to persistent trepidation. Let your sanity remains untouchable. Yeah, this is it.
This is it. Beautiful. This is, I think, about what we are promoting mental health. Yes.
Yes.
And I also admire you for all of those that you're doing and committed to serving for our fellow migrants when it comes to our mental health, because I too believe that we can only be effective workers if we all have as well sound mind and body. And
Yes.
yeah, well, we can be all our best if we have this. And Eileen May Ramos said again, thank you, amazing, for gracing my kakulitan invitation. And I hope I make you a little bit surprised for giving you to your anak as your host today. I love you and I love you both big time. Yes.
Thank you, Eileen.
Yes. I told her, let me host her.
Kaya
Okay,
nagulat ako. I
so
was really shocked when I saw
you were
I saw
expecting.
the
I said
post.
surprise her. Let's surprise her. I think she's really expecting that you will host her on that day. But give it to me. I haven't hosted for a while, so medyo I a little bit new again for the hosting
You
stint,
did
but
great.
and yeah, ayaw nila akong tulungan ng questions. They're not giving questions to you. Okay, so I have another question here. About writing naman, about writing and everything. So, what could be your greatest challenge as a writer? Were you ever criticized, and how did you accepted those criticisms? And yeah.
I think I think the only criticism that I have received ever since I started writing is when I submitted a work into an open call. So I was really very brave by that time to submit it, and then I do not know if the editor or that person has been having a bad day, and I don't know, she was so brutal at saying how bad is my poem. So I feel like, wow, okay. I was really hurt. I was really hurt that time because it was just a first try for me to um to contribute in an international. But I think that was year before 2020. Yeah, I think around 2019. So after that, I was really challenged and enter into workshops. And yeah, most of the compliments that I'm receiving is that my poems are well written, good, but I know my weakness. I know I am aware of my weakness, and I am not really good into being pressured about writing. I always prefer writing at my own pace.
In your
When you
own ways.
when you pressure me to write at a time, okay, my mind is like rolling like this, and I feel like, okay, what should I write? I can write beautiful poems when I have given enough time. So this is
Yes.
my I do not know, but if it can be called as weakness, but and I'm not really a writer. I'm not a professional one. I have less knowledge about the meters and whatever, the counting, all these things. I have a less knowledge about it. I am more into free verse writing and all the simple forms that were introduced to us during our Cinderella's Angels and the previous workshops as well. But what is my interest most is about writing a free verse that is very intense. I just want when I when I write a poem, I want it to be like continuously at the until like the person who will be reading it will run out of breath. I love this kind of poem, the intense one.
Yeah. Yeah. Can relate. Ako din. Even if, if you pressure yourself to write, and of course sometimes I would be able to write something, but the satisfaction is not always,
Correct.
of the finish poem. Is the satisfaction is really not that 100%, and you feel like there is something missing, there is an emotion missing, there are some words that you wanted to really express, but you could not express it because you are forcing yourself to write.
Yeah.
And I believe that write on your own pace. So give it
Yes.
some time. And yes, give it some time. We're actually looking forward for you to publish your own book. But
Ow.
I yeah, how when is that gonna be? How long are you waiting for,
I
you said
think
that you're waiting for the right time. And
yeah.
but
Soon.
anyway, yeah. Is it forcing you to
Na-publish mo na
publish
ba?
your own?
I think time will
Yes,
tell.
Eileen May said, right, I've been waiting for it. Yeah. So maybe I think Eileen May or Kakulitan will somehow work on this if you push everybody to publish their own. Okay. So what is your message to the to everyone? What is your message to our viewers, to our community, and general message?
Okay, so once again, I'm very grateful for this opportunity that I was given today to have a conversation with you and with the Migrant Writers of Hong Kong community. And I think most of the comments came from from very what is that, persistent writers, because I can see how they are doing their best to improve themselves when it comes to writing, and I think you just continue doing it, because when you set a goal for yourself, you need to work on it also, because it won't come to you as it won't come like in a very easy way, and you need to work for it. You need to invest also something like your time, your dedication towards yourself, your own self improvement. And in general, I would like to say that I think the situation right now is really very tough time, but I hope that we find comfort, and I hope that we do not lose our hope, because the stronger faith that we have, the less the distraction, or the less that we can be uh, we can be
Okay. So,
I'm getting distracted.
okay. So
Yeah,
Eileen
let's just
said,
keep
of
our
course,
faith.
yeah, perfect. So I really just wanted to keep this conversation going on, but I know you have some other plans for this afternoon, so I won't insist.
Yeah.
And yeah, um, Eileen Mirama said she has a valid reason, so I respect that. Yeah, okay. You don't have any
Thank
questions,
you.
Eileen Mirama.
Time
Okay,
will come.
so any inspirational message, like, do you want to share anything that inspired you lately, and you would like to share as well to the community? Anything, any
Okay.
quote, any motivational movie or what that inspired you lately also?
Uh, because I am mostly into reading books right now, especially about. I have this one book right now that I am reading. I think I posted it. It was shared in ours in me as well. So I think when you have something, or when you have difficulty figuring out yourself, figuring out what you want, like it start from simple things. It start from the basic. It start from finding what do you visualize to see about yourself in the future, or what it will help you, really it will really help you, because if you keep on asking yourself about this question, what do I want in the future, what do I want to see myself, not only for today but in a long run, so it will help you to at least um, think about think about it, because once you really know what you want, you will really have the idea on how to make it, how to work on it, how to make plans about it. So discover it. If you do not know yet, or if you know it already, then work hard on it. Or I mean, work smart, work wise on it.
Yes,
Yeah.
work
And
wisely.
for the leaders that are listening right now, community leaders, I hope that you remain, you remain um, having a hold, having a control of yourself, and not to really get so much pressurized, or so much affected with all the things that is happening to whatever you are involved with. So if you lose yourself, you will lose the things that you are really wanted to achieve. So always have a control about yourself. Sometimes it's not easy, but take a pause. Take a pause. It's not, we are not prohibited to take a break and listen to our own what is that, to our own needs. It's like
Yeah.
peace of mind. So you are not because you are a community leader, you pressurize yourself to lose your peaceful mind. No,
Yeah.
Once you lose yourself, you will not be an effective leader as well. So
Yeah.
always have a control about it. So yeah, that's all I can say because
Yes.
we are in a hurry now.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Okay. So, thank you so much, Sis Jane. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and congratulations in everything that you're doing right now for the Migrant Writers of Singapore and Uplifters.
Thank
So, thank you
you.
so much, and have a good day, everyone. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Regards
Thank
to
you to
all there in
all.
Singapore, sending all our love in Singapore.
Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.